It was Friday. I was getting the guys' stuff together for payroll, and I got up to get something out of the file, and I felt like my legs were really weak and like I'd been sitting too long. And I went to my chair and I fell out of it. And then my boss came in there and he's like, "What's wrong, miss?" And I'm like, trying to tell him. And he's like, "Are you having a stroke?" My name is Melissa Powers, and I am 47.
I first met Melissa, it was on a Friday evening. She was flown down to us from Grand Itasca Hospital in Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
Life Flight flew in. They were afraid that because there's fog, they couldn't land.
And that could have made a big difference in how well she did. Because as we know, time is brain and every minute counts.
I felt really scared and thought I was going to die. But when we got there, the fog lifted.
In order to treat patients with large vessel occlusions, which are basically strokes as a result of blockages of the largest arteries of the brain, we really have to act quickly.
Once they hit Abbott Northwestern Hospital, we usually can get them into the room within about 10 minutes.
They just started working on me right away, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And the guy's like, "Don't worry, it's okay, and we're just gonna do this procedure to get the blood clot out." And I was like, "Okay."
In the angiography suite, our main goal is to get a catheter into the arteries as soon as possible.
The penumbra technique has been very effective.
We navigate a very flexible, trackable catheter from the groin all the way up into the neck and eventually into the arteries of the brain. We advance directly to the face of the clot, and we use essentially it's a vacuum suction that takes the clot out. Oftentimes we can do this in one pass, and there's normal blood flow that's reestablished to the brain.
They just went up there and took the blood clot out, and I got better. I could lift my arm, and I could answer questions like what date it was and what year it was, and that was right in the emergency room. And I've been like, wow.
Melissa's recovery was actually quite remarkable. A lot of times we look at outcomes for stroke patients out at 90 days. For Melissa, it was one of those rare cases where she actually improved dramatically before our eyes. We performed one pass with the thrombectomy device, which is the device we use to remove the clot from the brain, and she improved within minutes right on the table.
And all of a sudden she goes, "Well, how am I doing?" "You're doing great."
My arm kept getting better and stuff, and my leg kept getting better, and pretty soon everything was back to normal.
It was just a model case for how stroke treatment should be done, and we were just very thankful that all of that went off without a hitch.
Before I had a stroke, I was going to college, and I went to the nursing home and saw people who had strokes and stuff, and so I knew what could happen. It's really amazing procedure, and I can do everything now. Drive, do my garden, pretty much everything. My husband always says, "You dodged a bullet on that one." He's like, "You were lucky." It saved my life. I wouldn't be here without it.